Hello, Eric.
Howdy.
And I see Kitty Allen walking around in her house.
They're playing song. You can't go wrong with that.
Yep. There goes Ray and the dog. Bye. Oh, there she goes again.
Sure, he wasn't 100% sure whether he'd be on or not.
Yeah, he sent me a note. Said they were blowing insulation in the attic.
Yeah, he wanted to be, but I think they had other plans for him.
Well, I think it's when the people could come out and do the work. So,
Yeah, because it's on a house rental they have, or
yeah.
when they rent out, or something like that.
Yeah. I think it was his mom's house, maybe.
It might be.
Yeah. Okay. A lot of background noise. Is that your side or is it?
It's
Okay,
kitties.
it's kitties. Okay. All right. So, long time no see, cousin.
What, 3 weeks now?
I think so.
No, almost a month.
You been behaving?
Yeah, right.
You don't have a Highland coo in your backyard now, do you?
Uh,
Or would it be in your front yard?
no, he's in the back of the side. I don't have enough in the front.
This is,
It's going to happen though.
if I can mute
I
her
let my
there.
chickens out and I'm missing one, so I don't know if someone got a hold of it or what.
Oh, probably. You know, critters. Those critters, they're bad.
That's what happens when you live up here in the middle of nowhere.
Hmm. Well, even if you live in the city, it happens because, like Lynn, my daughter Lynn, they live in a neighborhood, neighbors very close to them, and they had their chicken house in the backyard. And about a year and a half ago, raccoon got in there and killed their chickens.
Yeah, we've got a couple of raccoons down the road, but they're younger ones, and between with a one dog that stays outside all the time, I don't really see them messing around here.
Hmm.
But I do have a hawk, but I haven't heard her for a couple of days, so
Yeah, yeah. You never know with hawks. They usually you hear them, but they can,
yeah.
you know, get kind of
Well,
crazy.
like I said, my biggest one's out running around, so oh, the dead has arisen. You know, Sam had to work last night, and she's got to work tonight from
Oh,
3 to 11, and turn right around and go back tomorrow from 7 to 3.
oh boy. They
So,
need to work on getting their schedule squared away a little bit better.
well, they asked her if she could do that because normally she works 3 to 11 or 5 to
Yeah.
11. She's got. They asked if they want if she wanted to switch Sunday with 7 to 3. I guess they need the extra coverage, and
Hmm.
she agreed to it. So
Well, the thing is, she is adaptable, and it makes her more valuable if she's
yeah,
willing to do things that, I mean, if she's able to, then she should probably try to accommodate them because they'll remember those things.
but I'm pretty sure it hurts her. You know, hurts because her boyfriend was wanting to come over tomorrow, so I think he's going to pick her up from work and bring her home tomorrow. When she gets off. So,
Uh-huh.
but
Oops.
that's a little convenient.
Yeah.
You know,
That helps you out some, doesn't it?
yeah, save on gas anyway. Plus, allow me to get a couple things done, not have to stop in the middle of the day to go back out. But
Yeah.
hey, Sam,
So,
is he still planning on bringing you home tomorrow or what? I mean, I don't care. I didn't know. Uh huh. Well, it doesn't look completely hold up. What?
Did I flash?
No, 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 no. You're not on the camera. And the only one that's on there anyway right now is Bonnie.
Hey, Sam. Get some
Uh, she was,
rest.
she was showing me her belly button. I guess he didn't put two and two together. She was worse. He got caught on camera.
No, she's not on there.
Yeah, that's why I put that screen up anyway, so I wouldn't have to keep moving my telescope so everything wasn't in sight.
Yeah, we've had a couple of really clear days, but Ray's good telescope is up at the farm, and he's taking his smaller telescope out. But next week it's going to be cloudy, so I don't think we're going to starting tomorrow. In fact, it's supposed to be cloudy.
It's all right cloudy here because I got one good night that I had the sea star out
Hmm.
and got some good imaging done and stuff like that. I was going to get the aliens out, but as soon as I said that, the clouds started moving in, and now it's fully covered because I think they're calling for possibility of rain Tuesday. So
Yeah, I think we're probably going to get rain this evening, but right now it's perfectly clear, which is kind of nice. Ray's outside with Ty, and it's warm. It's about 68, so not
yeah, I
too
think
bad out there.
it's 60 here, and all the dogs are outside.
That's good.
But three of them's fine. No, couple was fine with it, but the oldest one, he's not happy about it, but he never is. So
Hmm.
he'll be all right.
Surprised we don't have more people on here already.
Wondering about that with it only being 9 minutes ago.
Yeah, and we ended up with about 30 people registered. Hello,
That's good.
Ted Johnson. Hang on, I think I've got you on mute. Let me try to get you off of here. Oh, there we go. Hang on one second. I did that. No, there.
Okay.
Hello there.
Hi,
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Nice to see you.
You too?
So Ted, there's only a few of us on right this moment, but it's me. I'm Bonnie.
Yes,
Nice to see you in
my pleasure.
person, and Eric Rose, and Eric's our president.
Yes, sir.
Hmm. So where are you dialing in from?
I'm in Mesa, Arizona.
Oh wow. Okay. Oh,
And it
you're the
is
one that had the trouble, trying to figure out which time zone you're supposed to call in for
yes,
last time.
yes.
Yes. Okay.
Because we don't
Okay.
change we're one of the well actually I think we're the only one that doesn't change
Yeah.
uh
Yeah. And
state-wise but it is almost 10 o'clock here, so
yeah. Yeah. My husband, we have grandchildren in Silver City, New Mexico. So
oh
half of the year when he goes to visit, he misses the flight coming home, flying out of Tucson.
yes,
Seems like
Ah,
Beth is
true.
on also.
there's Mr. Rose calling in on Sandy's line. How are you? I think
His
everybody's
audio.
coming in on mute. Let me see if I can unmute everybody.
Maybe because they had me on mute when I signed on.
Did it? Okay. Let me unmute. Hang on one second. No, it's not unmuting.
Be on his side
Um,
because Tess is
yeah,
off
you
mute.
may be on mute on your end, and the mute button, if you kind of scroll down at the bottom of your page. Hey, Sandy.
Hey, how are you?
Sandy, we matched
Okay.
today.
Oh, yes, we did. Did I get them unmuted?
Yeah,
You
you did.
did. Thank you.
Okay, good.
Thank you. Yeah,
I'll
if you
back
roll
in.
over the bottom of your screen, it brings up a toolbar, and if your audio has a slash through it, it means you're muted.
Yeah.
So, all right. So,
Hi, Bonnie.
hello.
This is Kath.
Hey, how are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. Did you dial in, Beth, on the
Uh,
Are you on the phone or are you on the computer?
No, I'm on the Zoom web meeting.
Okay. I don't
I'm
see
up in
you
the
yet,
yeah,
but I'm
Beth
going to look
Snipes.
for
I'm
you.
up.
So are you on, is your video turned off?
Yes,
Okay. If you want to
I
turn it
can
on,
turn
if
it
you'll
on.
just, yeah, just roll over the bottom of your screen and you should see the video sign.
Yeah, but I'm gonna scare everybody.
It's okay. Okay, there's Miss Beth.
So,
How are things in Tennessee, Beth?
well, we had a little bit of a cold snap, and also things were warming up some.
Yeah, they are. Yeah, it was pretty chilly. I had to make sure we had our heat on up there. So I called my brother and I said, can you turn the heat on? He said, already did.
Yeah, yep. It got down into the 20s Sunday night, Monday morning.
Yeah, that was too chilly. In
Oh,
Atlanta, we were in the low 30s. So it was quite a shock.
oh, I don't know if
Oh,
Raymond
there's
has his
Raymond
audio.
Moorhead. Hey, Ray.
His
Okay,
audio's off.
you're on mute. And if you'll roll at the bottom of your screen to your,
I can hear him.
God.
you got it. How are you?
Good. How are you doing?
We're good. We're good.
Good.
So,
No, I'm going to cut way off real quick. Raymond, I want to say thank you very much for that sporing that you gave to us for the Kilravock Heritage Fund.
No
we
problem.
raised a lot of money.
Well, good.
I think right at the end, just for the sporing alone, we got 350.
Huh.
So
That's
there again, thank you very much for that.
no
Greatly
problem.
appreciate it.
I was kind of inspired when I found the badge.
Love it.
And
Yeah, that was
then
really wonderful. Hi, Doug. Welcome. Oh, you're off mute now. Thank you.
Hi, good morning. I'll be
How are you?
joined in a few minutes with my wife,
Okay.
Peg
Yeah.
Rose. Yeah, so she's the direct descendant in the family, and
Okay.
I'm an add-on.
Well, we have a
But
lot
I
of
do love
add-ons. There's nothing
her
wrong
too.
with that.
Yeah.
So she'll be here.
Okay.
Once you're married in, you can't get out of
You
it no
can't
matter
get
what.
out, just like the mafia, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're
once you plan, you're never out.
Hi,
Great.
Keith. Keith, you're on mute. And if you will, at the bottom, just roll over your, like just above your search bar.
here we go.
And there you go. Thank you.
Honey, I think
I'm not sure
uh,
why I didn't put everybody on mute. In fact, I asked when you came in to be unmuted, but it seems like everybody's muted, including me. So
I think it's just the same because I know what had me muted and Catherine's getting on. So yeah, she's muted too. It's got to be the Zoom thing.
It's
it
automatic unless
yeah.
you unmute. It's
Hi,
automatic.
Catherine. You're on mute. If you can roll over your bar at the bottom and the audio thing will come up, just click the audio.
Hello.
There she is.
Oh,
How are you?
Sorry about that. We
That's
had
okay.
a new connection a minute ago, and I had to change house really quickly.
You had to change house?
Yes. So we've just come back to and it was all a bit like getting a bit stressful. We're like, come on, quick, we gotta go.
Well, there's still a lot of people that registered that are not online yet.
Oh,
And
good.
so
Let me just plug all my things in.
okay. And I do have
And,
your slideshow up. I have it open if you need for me to use that.
yeah, I've actually updated it, so I've
Okay.
got another one.
Oh, good. Okay.
Thank you. If it doesn't work, we'll use your. I'll send it now.
All right. So
And,
for those of you that don't know, we're talking to Catherine Quirk, and Catherine is the second daughter of Chief David. And she actually is the one that sort of coordinates with me so that we can get slideshows and things like that going. And there's Marcy. Hi, Marcy. You're on mute. You're on mute. So if you will, at the bottom of your computer screen, if you'll sort of hover there, you'll see audio and unclick the
Got it.
the line through it. Thank you, Marcy.
Thank you.
I think I'm gonna have to talk everybody through this because I didn't put you guys on mute. Usually when I do a meeting, I just let people enter and you know,
Are you
can
getting on the
join.
call?
But this one, everybody seems to be on mute coming in,
Okay.
and it's not my fault.
Well, that's all I want to check. I'll catch you later.
Okay,
So how's
All right.
everybody today?
good. How are
Hey.
you?
I'm good, thank you.
And Marcy, where are you from? Where are you calling from?
Florida.
Florida. Okay. Doug, what
And
about
where
you
are
guys?
you?
We're calling from Orange County, California.
Okay, California.
All
I'm
three
in
of them.
Atlanta. Keith, where are you?
I'm in Atlanta also, Canton,
Oh,
Georgia.
yeah. You know what? We need to get together. We talked about going to barbecue or something, right?
Exactly.
Meeting for dinner.
Yes,
You know where Williamson Brothers Barbecue is over in Canton?
I certainly do.
Okay, that's a good meeting spot because you can
Okay.
stay there a long time. We'll have to get together.
Okay, we'll get that scheduled up here
Yes.
soon.
Hey, Kitty, welcome. I don't know if she can't hear me. Kitty, can you hear me?
Hello, I can't hear you, Bonnie.
Hello. All right.
You almost look like she has a Scottish accent.
Sounds like it. Sounds like it. There's Chief David. Hi, David. How are you?
Live.
Good. Good. Let's wait just let's wait just a couple of minutes because we had about 35 people registered. And right now we've got 10 of you on the phone or
Can't hear a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Ugh.
So
Vicky's,
hopefully some others will get
Vicky's on mute also.
I'm sorry.
He's on mute. Everybody that's coming on has got muted somehow.
Yeah.
Hey,
I
Bonnie,
think that,
Yes.
I think that was Kitty.
my
said
my
Kitty.
sister Vicky has made it on the call.
Oh, good. Hi, Vicky. I don't see her.
I've not got any noise.
Her
But
audio and
Vicky, if
video
you
call.
will hover over just above your little bar at the bottom, you'll see audio and also video. And if there's a line through those, click them to unmute and to open up your video. And Beth, she may not want to be seen, but I don't see her on here as being able to hear. We're not able to hear her, so.
664.
And we've got Buck and Vicky both, so we don't have audio or video.
Yeah.
Hello, everybody.
Hello.
Hello, Kitty.
There
Hi.
she is.
Yeah, I was wondering why I couldn't hear you, and then I realised I put my headphones in.
That makes a
What an
difference.
idiot, eh?
It makes a difference.
Ah,
So,
where's our Lord and Master? Late.
yeah. So, Chief, is Genevieve with y'all?
Yep.
Oh, okay. Just haven't seen her yet. Oh, I see
there
her
he is.
hand. Hi,
Man.
Genevieve.
Hi.
How are you?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Doing good. Doing good.
Getting there.
Sorry, I'm just going to check.
We still got two that's on, but we have no audio or video with them.
Oh, who's on?
Buck is on and Vicky.
Who was the first one you said?
Buck.
Okay, I'm not sure who that is.
Buckwheat, it says.
Yeah. He was on video a while man ago, but he
Well, I
doesn't
know who
have it.
Buckwheat is. That's a throwback.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, and then Vicky.
All right. They may not be able to even hear me.
Hi, Vicky's on a phone.
Oh, Vicky's on the phone. Okay, great, Vicky. Thank you so much.
And I'm not sure about Buck. He was on there a minute ago, video wise, but now he's off also.
Okay.
And Vicky says she can't hear us.
Who?
Vicky says she can hear us. She's on the
Every time
phone,
you
but she
say
can
the
hear
name, I can't hear what you're saying.
Vicky.
She's on the
Vicky.
phone.
Yeah, she just
She can hear
messages.
us. Yeah, she can hear us.
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
All right.
Huh?
Okay.
That means she's on the phone.
All right. I'm gonna give it 2 minutes and then we'll start. Okay. And thanks to those of you who got on early. Appreciate it so much. Richard Rose. Hello. Okay, Richard, you're on mute. If you'll hover over your screen at the bottom. There he is. How are you?
Oh no, I do Zoom.
Okay.
I'm on Zoom more than most people. So my apology for last week. It was crazy all week. I'm very busy. It's a very busy season for me because of
Yeah.
starting
You're
to get
Santa.
cold. So anyway, so all in my head all week I said, I got to remember to be in that meeting on Saturday. I got to remember to be on the meeting because I'm juggling so many other things. The 15th never even occurred to me. It was this Saturday, or not even this Saturday.
Yeah.
It was on Saturday. So it's like, okay.
Okay. Well, and Santa, I'm going to reserve some time to talk to you because there's a lot of things I need this year.
Okay.
Awesome.
And
All right.
It's a wonderful meeting, all of you. I've been very excited about this.
Yeah.
I'm funny also just for a second, but it's nice to put faces with names because I get most of the info when y'all send your memberships in or whatever. I get all the info also. So it's nice to see who I'm actually, I can put names with faces and know who I'm talking to now. So that's a nice little thing for me. But anyway, it's all yours, Bonnie.
Okay. Well, again, just want to welcome you. I think most of you were able to be on our first call, which I felt like we just had a really good meeting and learned a lot and just had a lot of camaraderie during that meeting. And I'm thankful that we're able to continue that. And of course, to start, I want to make sure that I introduce Genevieve Rose, she's hiding next to Chief David. Lean in, Genevieve. Genevieve is David's oldest daughter, and she would be the heir apparent when the time comes. And then, of course, we've got David in the center, Chief David. And David, as always, it's wonderful to have you with us. And I personally want to extend my thanks to you for being so generous with your time and your talent and in sharing with this group. I'm going to just start by, first of all, telling you guys that there's not another clan that has a meeting like this for their membership. So and in fact, we're getting a lot of notoriety for that. And probably some others.
There's a lot of people we can't see, but are listening.
Oh, you can't see. Okay.
No, you can.
Well,
No, he can. He can.
Okay.
We can see everything.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Good.
Yeah,
all right.
that.
And then, of course, the voice in the background there is Catherine, Chief David's second daughter. And Catherine and I do a lot of coordination to get this meeting set up. And then she pulls together, for example, the slideshow. And just so you guys know, I'm recording this meeting and hopefully that's going to work out so that we can, put it back out there on in our member section of our website. But I want to welcome you. And I think one of the most important things about this particular event is that it puts us directly in touch with Chief David and his family. And as our membership grows, and we hope that it'll grow, what you're going to find is that Chief David is very open to meeting the members, anyone from the Rose clan. You don't have to be a member and don't have to be a follower. But if he knows that you're coming to Scotland, he and his family will make every effort to meet you at Kilravock, on the grounds of Kilravock, and show you around. And that's
Because
that's one of the most generous things. So David, you got some things you want to say before we get started on our program?
well, only that if you do come to Scotland, which would be lovely to see you, um, give us a little bit of warning so that we can make arrangements. Because, as you know, the the castle itself is not open to us as a family, but we can visit the gardens and we can stand around in front of it, that sort of thing. But we have to get permission to do that. So from the new owner, who is Colin Corder, the Earl of Corder. So he's been very kind and helpful up to this point in allowing us to do what we do and entertain those that come across the ocean, as it were, the water, to come and see us here. Beth, can you hear us?
Beth, are you able to hear?
Yes, I'm able to hear. I'm
Okay.
sorry.
All right.
Are you squinting at the screen?
He says, "Why are you squinting?"
I was sending you a message based on what my sister had wrote. So I'll go ahead and post it. There we go.
Vicky is younger, but looks younger. Oh, that's fun.
That's that was
Right.
supposed to be a question mark there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
All
look,
right.
are we just about ready, do you think?
I think we are. So we'll turn it over
Okay.
to you guys,
Well,
Catherine, and
as you know, today was a talk by me on the subject of the arboretum and the gardens at Kilravock, such as I can know them. And I have to thank Catherine very much for doing a lot of homework on this. We had lots of lovely trees in the garden, which were planted by previous Rose Lairds. But the main one seems to be, and I didn't know this until today, Elizabeth Rose, going back to the mid 19th century, which she was a very great exponent of gardens and loved her trees. So she went about organizing this, such as we have some of them today to look at, which is nice. I'm going to go over a few of the trees. I'm not sure we've got pictures.
I've got pictures. I'm just going to attempt to try and share the screen the screen with you all. Bonnie, did you give me permission?
I did, but if it asks you to do that, it might ask me again.
Okay, I see it. I see it.
Right.
Let me.
Well, one of the main trees we have here,
hang
on, in the garden, the wider garden anyway, is the Laird Beech.
You've already got it on share, but if you'll click to make it to enlarge the screen, sorry. So just click done, Catherine, and then go up to the top of the screen so that you can expand the screen.
I worked. Thank
there
you,
we go. That's okay. Hey. It's hard to know exactly what you're doing. So
sorry. Hang on. Stick to the script.
That's not a Laird Beech. That's a dandelion. Where are we?
This one.
Oh, right. So I better stick to the script. Welcome you all once again to this chat with me in Scotland. We'll be talking about the Arboretum of Kilravock, but before I delve into the wonderful world of trees, I just wanted to see if anyone was aware that the clown rose flower is the wild rosemary. Don't think that's a wild rosemary, is it?
Yes.
Oh, yes. It is.
Mhm.
It's a flowered one.
It's a flowered, looks like
Uh,
dandelion.
Can you see this black
We can.
line?
Yes.
How do you get that off?
Anyway,
No, that's
it's a wild rosemary, and it's like it's a low grade shrub with a lovely fragrant scent. According to folklore, in some parts of Scotland, where rosemary flourishes, the woman of the house is the master of the building and the land. So there we go. Some sources also list the plant badge of the briar rose, as the briar rose, although the rosemary is more common. Plant badges were historically used by Highlanders as a means of identification in battle. So different clans wore different flowers in their upper garments so that they could perhaps identify those clans from which they come. As I said, what ours is the wild rosemary. I have to point out that, as far as I'm aware, we didn't actually fight in the battle of Flodden. We did play lip service to both Bonnie Prince Charlie and the Duke of Cumberland, who on successive days visited the castle and made themselves known. And in fact, we did actually entertain Bonnie Prince Charlie at the castle a day or so before the battle. And we still did have, until recently, the drinking and eating facility pieces that he ate off and drank from. And also we've got a violin which we thought he played, but we're not sure about that. However, it's still there, and although some of these pieces since the current custodians, well, before it was sold, the castle was run by trustees from the Kilravock Christian Charitable Trust, and I'm sorry to say that they were a disreputable bunch, and didn't really take the clan, especially us, seriously. And so when it came to passing on items of interest, such as these, the punch bowl and the violin and such like, that Bonnie Prince Charlie did drink from or ate from, they have subsequently sold some of these at auction, some of which we've managed to buy back, as it were, and they're now, we hope, going to be a major display in the Nairn Museum.
Not the punch bowl or anything. That's been sold to someone completely different. That's actually gone down to Falkirk, we think, and hope. We've been trying to find out information on it, and it got bought by a museum down there.
I've been shot down in flames.
Yes.
Never mind.
Sorry.
So there have been things that we don't know about, and or what happened to them. However, we have got some things that we have got in place, and they will be at the Nairn Museum in the very near future, we hope. We're making an effort to do that. Anyway, back to the trees. Where am I? Oh, yeah. The usual Nairn beach is sometimes known as the kissing beach, and sometimes called the layering beach. This European beach stands close to the castle on one occasion, on one species, and is one of the features most visitors remark upon. both an historic specimen and a striking example of rare growth habit called layering. What you can see is these huge branches in the picture, I hope you can see, that actually go down to the ground. These branches then actually touch the ground, and in places they sprout again from that and create another small tree. But it's not very easily seen in this picture. Just recently we had an awful storm, and one of the layered beeches just further up the road driveway there on the right hand side came crashing down, especially across the road, and as we found was quite rotten anyway, so no wonder it came down. But it was a layered beech. The garden itself has one or two examples of this layered beech, but this one's just outside the garden walls and the garden fence. But it is a good example of it. As you can see, it sort of has an octopusy type meaning of the tentacles reaching out to the ground. And it was said that apparently when soldiers were trying to go from Nairn to the battle of to the Culloden Moor battlefield, there was a forest of these trees, and some of the soldiers got quite disorientated because they got quite lost amongst the tanglement of these trees. But there was a whole forest of them, apparently. So these are the very few species left that we can see. There we go. That's as I said, the
Woodland Trust.
The Woodland Ancient Trust Ancient Tree Inventory records it as a pollarded beech, a veteran beech with a girth of 4.3993 meters, consistent with a very mature centuries-old tree. And legend has it in the past that an early laird was caught in a tryst with a housemaid beneath this very tree, and lovers since have carved their initials into the bark of the main stem of the tree, leaving behind a more permanent mark than any romantic poem could. Anyway, I do know that there are some there. The tree was also shortlisted as Scotland's Tree of the Year in 2014, and there's been a local national recognition of its importance. Photographs show there are at least 2 layering beeches on the estate, a bit like this one, and aerial photographic evidence shows they've been a landscape feature for many decades. Precise planting records for these veteran trees are seldom available, but multiple sources place the likely planting and establishment window in the late 17th or early 18th century. In other words, the tree is plausibly 300 to 350 years old. As I said, that seems to coincide with one of the Kilravock's wives, Elizabeth Rose, and she was the one that instigated a lot of these plantings. Technically, the layering beech is rare in the UK. From a cultural landscape point of view, the trees connects the modern visitor to the lived history of this castle. It's a living monument, you could say, a romantic landmark, a wildlife habitat, and an example of veteran tree structure, hollows, advanced bark, epiphytes, not sure what the word means, that only centuries can produce. It is publicly accessible and listed as a national tree inventory, which helps protect it and raise its awareness of the heritage value. You pause beneath its limb, you can almost imagine the generations of conversations, games, secret meetings that took place there. When you speak with Kilravock's long ownership by the Roses, this beach is one of the clearest living links to the past. Inside the garden, what? Oh, sorry. Where are we now?
We're on the Sitka spruce.
I'm being pinpointed away from the script. There we go. Anyway, this here plant is a tree, which is a Sitka spruce. A lovely big tree.
That's Theo on the left, who's my eldest son. It's just showing how big it is. And Bonnie, do you recognize that's Ray?
I do. It is Ray. I
What
was
was it?
gonna take him out of try to Photoshop him out, but he doesn't know he's in the slideshow. But
He looked very
he's the
slim
one that
there.
takes most of the pictures. So
Yeah. Anyway.
He looked very slim there. This particular Sitka spruce is a beautiful big tree. It has a girth of 8.31 meters and approximately a height of 44.5 meters, which is 120 to 130 feet. So
it's huge.
It's a big tree, huge tree, and it stands almost alone in its area in the garden. The tree itself is quite spiky because it's not an easy tree to climb. It has rather spiky leaves and thorny bark. But it's a nice tree, all the same. Its Latin name is Lycia lichinensis, and not just any. One that Kilravock is described as a real surprise in its majesty, despite being of the same era as the monkey bottle, which we'll come on to later. A few facts about the Sitka spruce isn't it? Sorry, I'll start again. A few facts about the Sitka. The Sitka spruce isn't actually a native to Scotland. It hails from the Pacific Northwest. It grows exceptionally well here. And the spruce was introduced to the UK in the 19th century. It's become one of the most widely planted forestry species because it thrives in damp, temperate climates and actually grows quite good timber for milling and so on. The Kilravock, the spruce, likely dates from the early 20th century when estate owners were experimenting with non-native conifers, both for beauty and often timber.
Yeah, if I could ask Chief David, if I could ask people to mute their microphones for now so we don't pick up the background noises. And then we'll get you to unmute when after the presentation. Thank you.
Yeah. Things I've said that you have missed and wanted a little bit more clarification, we can come back to it at the end. Yeah. This tree likely dates from the earliest 20th century when estate owners were experimenting with non-native conifers, both for their beauty and often for their timber possibilities for milling and making houses out of. Its girth alone is 8 meters wide and it's over 44 meters tall. We've already said that. What's charming is imagining a rose laird or gardener sniffing the air around the tree because young citron needles have a distinctive clean, slightly citrusy scent, quite different from a pine. And that contrast between exotic coastal North America and island soil makes the tree feel both out of place and yet perfectly at home. Now, I mentioned the monkey puzzle tree. Here it is. It's a lovely tree. It always looks nice to me, even though it's a prickly devil. The species is known as Araucaria, normally called the monkey puzzle tree, native to the Andes in south central Chile and western Argentina. Its distinctive appearance was tall, columnous trunk bearing whorls of stiff, scale-like leaves and branches that give it a somewhat spiky, prehistoric look on the Kilravock estate. You can see it bearing its cones, its fruit, up in the top, the green bits.
Top right.
Top
Yeah.
right, yeah.
Dad's pointing, but he realizes that you can't see him pointing, but he's pointing to the top of the monkey puzzle tree on the left.
It's the light green bits of the flowers that come. And actually, the monkey puzzle is actually one of the oldest trees on the planet. You know, it was around in prehistoric times. And I don't know about the dinosaurs, but certainly it was around in that sort of era. And so it has this very spiky, rather off-putting branches you can see on the right-hand side of the picture with jagged-looking petals as leaves.
Kitty, I believe you wrote on the Facebook the other day about you heard about a cousin related tale of just reading out your post of about our four great uncles. Yeah,
it's true. Well, apparently it's true. I'd never heard it. We had a family lunch a couple of weeks ago here in Chester, and a lot of Pope descendants were there. And apparently, my cousin, our cousin Kathy Horbury, was wearing a pendant with a picture of Harold Pope, who was a nephew of Hugh the 24th by his sister Kate Rose, and those Pope boys and Kate spent a lot of time at Kilravock in the they were born in the 1880s, and in the 1890s, Harold, the oldest, and his three younger brothers, Harold challenged them to a race up the monkey puzzle tree. And that's all I know about it. I'd never heard of it before, and I don't know who won. There was a 7-year gap between the oldest boy and the youngest, so I guess they'd have been in, the early to mid-teens, and how high they got, I do not know, but supposedly true.
That's like getting with a big cactus.
Yeah.
It's very stickery. You can't touch it anywhere.
No. It was named after the monkey puzzle, was so named because once planted in Britain, it was so puzzling for a monkey to climb because of its stiff branches, spiky leaves. As a species that's long-lived, in its native habitat it can live many hundreds of years, and in Britain it became a specimen tree for estates and gardens in the 19th century. A Walking Fields Club report describes the magnificent size of a monkey puzzle tree in flower, thought to be about 120 years old. That provides us with a helpful guideline, planted perhaps circa the 19th century, 1890s, or early 20th century. The report places it in the estate arboretum, which suggests the roses or their estate managers planted it as part of specimen tree planting because of the monkey puzzle was introduced into gardens in the mid-19th century. This timing is rather consistent with estate pattern and records. Unfortunately, the sources we found do not list the exact baron or baronet who commissioned this tree, nor the precise planting year. It remains, though, most accurate to the present is as planted on the historic Kilravock estate circa 120 years ago, i.e. 1900 plus or minus a decade, per the Field Club route note. Field Club note. Given that the that's a minimum estimate. The tree is a mature specimen in British terms. This is a photograph from the 2009. Bear in mind the tree was already then mature, showing its bearing fruit. While this species grows well in Scotland's climate, like all large trees, it will benefit from minimal root disturbance, stable soil and careful monitoring. In closing, this monkey puzzle tree at Kilravock stands as a living remnant of an era of botanical ambition and estate planting. It endures because it has been well planted, well sited, and recognized by visitors and pilgrims around the world. For the visitors today, it invites a pause, a look upward, and a reflection on the fact that our British landscapes are shaped not just by the native trees, but by the global exchange of plants and by the long-term vision of families like the roses. As you walk around the grounds, the gardens, if you like, of the Arboretum, the monkey puzzle reminds us this is more than just stone and turf. It is a repository of living heritage. All right. Another tree that this is quite a difficult tree to describe, but on the left you see a picture, a whole lot of stems of trees going upwards, and this is known as the cedar of Lebanon, Citrus libani, and two very different cedar of Lebanon trees that grow in these gardens. It is a species that became fashionable on British estates from the 17th century onward, and often marks the old core of an estate landscape. In other words, they planted this tree around the what were the remnants of earlier buildings on the estate. Because it's in this garden, in fact, that the original thought that the original dwelling of Kilravock was actually created. Quite stony where all that is, and as it go over the bank, which you can't see behind Catherine, but it's quite stony, very stony in fact. It's like a rocky cliff. But the thing about this tree is that it all stems from one major central stem of a plant, which you can't really see here. But in the left-hand picture, you can see in the right-hand side of the picture, the sort of remnants of a circle of trees.
I'm actually standing in the circle.
Yeah, oh, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, it's quite hard to see because I'm trying to get the tallness of it, but that's me in the middle. They've actually cut down a few since recently.
Central core.
Story. Yeah.
The central core of the tree was on the right, but it was very rotten. It was cut down some time ago, and what was left was all the stems of the tree as it grew into trees themselves. So it's quite unique when you think about it. All those came from one tree. Now the one on the right, picture on the right, it's also a cedar of Lebanon. You can see that it has multiple sort of layers of trunks going upwards. Not quite the same as the one on the left, but nevertheless, it's the same species. And unfortunately, quite a lot of it had to be cut away or cut down or blew down, and so had to be trimmed up accordingly.
And David, if I can add on those cedars of Lebanon, the cedar of Lebanon are mentioned throughout the Old Testament of the Bible. And it's said that King David built his castle from the wood of a cedar of Lebanon. It's a very hardy wood.
This is very hardy wood.
Mhm.
It's nice and perfumed, and it's quite impervious to rot because it has innate oils inside the trunk of the tree which prevent it from rotting. It also has a lovely scent to the timber when you cut it, and is also known as a sort of mothball tree where the moths and insects that attack it won't attack it because it doesn't like the smell of the tree. There's a lot of boxes and things like this and shelves were made out of cedar to stop the um, well, because it didn't rot and therefore looked good and smelled good. And so those libraries were made with shelves made out of cedar. Um, no. Multiple local accounts and visitor notes mention an aged cedar of Lebanon in the castle ground, and even older references to Thai early Kilravock habitations, which were sort of mentioned, to a cedar close to the original dwelling of the original building at Kilravock before the tower was built. One local archive note even refers to early generations living near the seat of Lebanon. While we don't have a dated planting ledger for this particular cedar online, the tree is repeatedly cited in visitor descriptions, local articles as a veteran specimen on this date. It's dated to the Eastern Mediterranean, was introduced in Britain in the early 17th century. It features in biblical and classical symbolism, was widely planted by landowners wanting a stately, large, long-lived conifer in their garden. Cedars produce a broad layered crown with horizontal branches, very different from very different silhouette of the beech and redwood. If Kilravock cedar is indeed long established, it would have been an intentional landscape statement, signaling the continuity, status, and connection to classical learning and taste. The cedar also provides winter structure, habitats for lichens and birds. Again, no definitive online planting data was given to this particular species, a particular tree, but the repeated references to an aged cedar and the tree in older descriptions of the estate make it probable that this specimen was planted in the 18th century or earlier. The tree stands as a quiet presence, ancient presence really, a living piece of the broader historic landscape that surrounds the castle, and one of the species that signals Kilravock's long-term interest in specimen planting. Other trees in Kilravock became we know them as an American redwood, or Kilravock. It was actually a species known as the Wellingtonia. Not sure whether to do with the Duke of Wellington or not sure. However, it's known as the Wellingtonia, and you can see the tree on the left-hand picture is quite a piece of work. It's very tall and straight-limbed.
And it's very thick. It's not as large as the Sitka spruce, is it?
Yeah.
But it's still pretty big girth-wise.
Yeah, girth.
Yeah.
You can see it's got a few fruits that come off it. In the right-hand picture, with the sort of cone that comes off the tree. But this particular species is actually very tall. This photograph was actually taken in 2009 and showed tall redwoods rising above the park. And comments on these images state the trees were grown from some of the first seeds to reach Britain for over 150 years ago. In other words, they are likely to be planted in the mid-19th century during the era when estate owners were sourcing exotic seeds from North America and other countries and planting arboreta and specimen trees around their gardens. There is not a single state ledger online that records the exact planter by name for these particular redwoods. Hundreds fits the period when Kilravock was under the stewardship of the 23rd Lairds of Kilravock, the 19th century roses. For those of you who might have a book about Kilravock, you might look up the 20th and the 23rd Laird and see what sort of person they were. Many Scottish estates of that century planted Wellington and Tonias as a fashionable exotic specimen. They say they are from some of the first seeds to reach Britain. All point an early Victorian introduction, circa the 1850s, because the Rose family continuously owned Kilravock through the 19th century. These trees were almost certainly planted by a Rose laird or under their direction. During this period, these redwoods tolerate damp Scottish climates surprisingly well and reach great heights in a century and a half. Older redwoods on British estates often need monitoring root compaction and wind throw as they mature into a giant top-heavy tree. The one here at Kilravock, we think, is in excess of 150 feet, if I remember right, my knowledge. Yeah. And anyway, these show large vertical trunk and arboretum-like grouping. This indicates the trees are now important veteran in specimens in their own right and part of the designed landscape. In short, the redwoods are a Victorian horticultural statement, exotic, vertical, and dramatic. They connect the islands and the global plant exchange of the 19th century and remain some of the tallest, most striking specimens on the estate. When you go, if you happen to manage to come to Scotland and you go into this garden, you'll understand that these trees do stand on their own, and they're not sort of surrounded by lots of other trees, and get sort of outgrown by others. So you can see that they register a special place in the garden as a tree for planting an arboretum of trees in a given area.
So this is Elizabeth Rose, the 19th Baroness of Kilravock.
She's
the one responsible.
Right. Right. Okay. Well, the historical notes we know as the guides specifically credit Elizabeth Rose, the 19th of Kilravock. You can look that up if you have a historical book on the roses of Kilravock, with improving the castle grounds and planting many Scots pine and large trees, after she became heir and manager of the estate in the late 18th century. This is helpful because the name linked between particular laird, Victorian era fits the wider British pattern. Many estates, though, being planted larch and Scots pine as shelterbills, ornamental plants during the same decades, and became a commercial specimen of trees. Larch is very good for outdoor use because it doesn't rot very easily either. A lot of fence posts, railings, and stuff like that were used by the workers on the estate for that sort of thing. See, the other trees on the estate were the common yew, which is
Oh, I
nice.
think I've got a picture. Ooh, there it is.
Yew tree, which has branches everywhere.
All growing up on the
Yes, they did.
the little trees.
Little trees, but they have a little feathery leaf, or yeah, sort of leaf bit.
Yeah, I didn't manage to get all the photos of all the trees, but I've just done a few of them. We've done the main ones, haven't we? And these just a few, the common yew, and on the right, the very right, is the Spanish chestnut tree, which is very knobbly, as you can see. And then I've just done a few firs in the middle, all in a group in the garden, and just on the which was just grouped, and actually they've just grown as just like that, haven't they?
Yeah.
And this is the hill. You can't see, but it is very sloped from the back, and this is where everyone rolls down the hill when they were a child. It's like a child, yeah, in the middle picture, which is great fun. And on the very, very left, you can see the biggest tree, the biggest green one. That's the monkey puzzle, and this is the from the castles on the right. So this is going up to the lawn on the left there. So once they get the entrance to the garden is there.
The entrance to the garden is
Just to show you.
right in front of you.
Yeah. Which is not the one to the steps, but across the road, straight ahead.
Straight ahead.
The two rounds.
Yeah.
Little green bushes.
Yeah. Which is
That's the
very
entrance,
nice.
and the monkey puzzle is right behind it.
Yeah. Big in its thing. And then and this is behind the castle, so straight ahead on the right hand photo, you can see the gate. And then if you keep going on, that's where the monkey puzzle is. If you keep going straight on there, so we're kind of to the side of the castle, I guess. The
western end.
Yeah, and these are all the birch trees that goes down this farm track that goes down here, and you can see on the left picture it carries on going all the way down. And this is actually a recent photo I took recently to get the autumn colours in because I thought it was quite pretty. But it's quite nice seeing the castle in the background.
It's a sad, rather, the fact that the road track you can virtually see from the gate, and in the left-hand side of the picture, there should have been a proper track there. And when I was young, as a wee boy, the ground was stony, and you could see all the stones making up the proper up track all the way around the western end of the castle. And we know this is the West Drive road track. Yeah.
And on the left photo, in the springtime, that's just a carpet of bluebells. So it's just it's really pretty in the springtime. But you've got to get there quickly to see the bluebells because there's only a short window for them. But that's very pretty too.
No doubt about it.
That one's finished.
So you can see that all these plantings, I wish we had more pictures and so on, things to show you, but I'm afraid that's rather all we've got. But it does give an indication of the sort of plantings which tell us the landscape story, which is a deliberate improvement for timber value and an 18th century to 19th century taste for managed estates for timber, commercial timber plantings and so on. The arboretum, though, is very much a designer garden, if you like, of specimen trees. And these recorded improvements are an example of a female estate manager making lasting arboreal contributions so that we can still see them today. Protecting these stands helps preserve the design context for Kilravock specimen trees. Oh.
So, Chief David, we had a question from Beth, and she wants to know how large the grounds are, like how many acres or.
It was a good point. I'm not quite sure exactly how big the arboretum is or the gardens, but I think it's about 20 acres.
And
20,
the whole
20
property, do you know how much the whole property with the castle?
The castle is, well, the castle sits outside that 23 acres, but it,
Just over 400, the entire estate.
well, the estate now is about 400 plus acres, sadly. It used to be a lot more than that. And in fact, with commercial forestry and other plantings and so on, and other properties, the estate did manage to go from Croy, which you'd have to look up on a map, but Croy, where Kilravock Castle is, all the way to about 2/3 of the way to Nairn, towards the coastal town of Nairn. And the estate itself is a sort of long, narrow belt of land, incorporating farmland and plantations of trees, and also incorporating the acreage on which the castle stands and the gardens that we call the arboretum stand. So, yeah, it's quite a considerable amount of area, but it was quite a large area to manage. But a lot of them, the farmland was rented out, where the estate didn't actually farm the land itself, but rented these properties, the farmland, out to tenants who fortunately were quite good tenants and still are today. And they take pride in looking after their part of their living, as it were, on this land. So, to say, an estate that has had, as you can see, a checkered rather history, but one that still survived, and the fact that Lord Corder has now very luckily for us bought the land rather than someone else, and we possibly couldn't have any input into the estate in the future. But Lord Corder is actually quite a well-known tree enthusiast and planter of trees, and is actually a forester in his own right, I think. And so he looks after his own assets at Corder. But having him now as the custodian of the castle and these trees, the arboretum, he's expressed an interest in learning more about this arboretum and how it came about and what's been happening to it. And he has been looking after it, so that's good. Just recently, as I said, we had a terrible storm and a lot of the trees got blown down or broken or something, and so he's had to do quite a lot of maintenance, doctoring, as it were, the trees. One of them was the cedar of Lebanon that we first saw when I started this talk. Anyway, there you go. Did
So
I answer your question?
yeah, so David, Doug asked a question. He put it on the chat and he wants to know if you know what the oldest known tree in the garden is.
Ah, good point.
It will be the European beech. That's 350.
For the Laird speak.
It
It
the
probably
rest
is.
are all quite young.
It would be the Laird's beach that has long tentacles going out. That's probably the oldest tree.
Okay.
Because it has a sort of recorded history going back 300-400 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's if you want to look it up, I think it's under the Woodland Trust, because they're the ones that recorded it, and said what the size was. And it's the Woodland Trust or the Ancient Tree Inventory. They put it under this list of those. So, and that's one of the oldest ones. Yeah, they're very
It's quite a good source of information. I'm not sure if they actually tell you it's Kilravock, but they might do. We'll have to look it up ourselves and let you know. But yeah, the Woodland Trust, they're a good body of people who are very knowledgeable about trees and where they're planted and how they're planted, where the trees came from, and make a list of plantations around the country, especially in Scotland, as to where the best specimens are and are protected actually by charter, so they can't be cut down just like that because somebody wants them moved. So that, it's a good charter to have, as it were. Yeah.
Catherine, could you close out the slideshow and that way we can see each other and talk? Okay. All righty. And
yeah,
we have a few more minutes. If you guys want to unmute your microphones, then maybe we can get in a couple more questions.
Far away.
Yeah, so just remember at the bottom of your screen, if you'll hover over the audio and click that, that should open up your line.
Do we know if the oak tree that the first Elizabeth sat under with Robert Burns is still standing?
Oh, that's a good point.
It was along the old drive. I could never find it, and
well,
I'm not very good
not
at
sure I
trees.
can either.
No.
The old drive being the west or the east?
Yeah, where you just walk up to Croy from, turn left out
Croy.
the door and
That's the west drive. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have to pass the buck here because I don't know of any particular oak. There are several oaks along the driveway out to Croy on the west drive, but I don't think they're that old. And
no.
But you never know. Nobody's mentioned the fact that Robert Burns, who did actually visit Kilravock, as you quite rightly say, that where he might have sat down and reminisced with Elizabeth Rose, I don't know. Of course, when he did come to Kilravock, he did stay.
Yeah.
And come and go, and he did write a couple of poems, I think.
Yes, that's the tree under the tree.
Yeah. So maybe I don't know. I don't really have to look into that.
Yeah.
I think it was
I was just curious.
Tree,
an ash tree, was it?
So they say.
I thought it was oak. Yeah, it says oak.
I thought it was ash.
It's in my little booklet. It says oak.
Oh, oak. Well, there you go.
That could be why you couldn't find it,
Looking for the wrong one. Well, Kitty,
that booklet that Kitty says you've got there. Can you hold it up?
Yeah, it's just this little one.
Which
Holden
you
hired
can
me.
see. It's
There we
this
go.
one.
It's quite a
Yeah,
good,
lots of people
that
have
was a
got
very
it.
good, that was a very good uh, well, I don't call it a magazine, but it wasn't really a magazine. It was
Like a booklet.
It was
This is
it was put
a
together by
booklet.
William Fever, you know, our
Yes.
cousin, who spent quite a lot of time at Kilrock in the, you know, before Elizabeth opened it as a Christian guest house. But then, you know, once Elizabeth got her mitts on it, she edited it, you know, very much, well, a lot. So I think you would have got more scholarly information and a little less piety, if I can put it that way. If she'd left it to what William wrote.
Yeah.
Well,
I think piety is the right way of putting it because it was loaded with
yeah,
things
but I don't think it would have been when William
the
first
Christian
wrote
beliefs and didn't really have any pertinence to
it. No.
the things we talked about. Never
No.
mind, that's the way she was, and
Yeah.
that's the way she thought about it. So, but that booklet was well done and it was well illustrated. Some of it was lovely drawings too. So
Yeah.
I don't know how. I've always thought but that book itself, if I can get hold of an early copy, might be the one to mass produce a bit in large numbers. And
I would like
Yeah,
to.
I mean,
to the plan. We'd have to look into that.
And Raymond, is that drawing behind you part of that book? Oh, your microphone's on, not on.
Yes, Raymond.
It looks like
It's a drawing that I did of I'll back away for a minute. There's a remembrance of the Battle of Flodden, and both the chief of Clan Hunter and the chief of Muirhead all died at that battle. And so I did just kind of a remembrance for the clan and Clan Hunter.
That's nice.
And Madame Pauline has a large drawing of it in the castle.
Where? Where's the drawing?
And if anybody gets a chance, July 24th through the 26th is the clan gathering of Muirhead and Hunter at Clan Hunter's Castle in Ayrshire, Scotland.
Okay. There you have it. Interesting side note for sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All right. Any other questions for Chief David or Catherine or Genevieve?
This is actually towards Raymond. Raymond, if you can send me the dates on that on Facebook, so we can keep up with that, if you don't mind, please.
Okay.
Or message it directly to me, however you want to do it.
Do I have your email?
If not, I will message it to you here after a while.
Okay.
You should have it because when we did the thing with the spawn, I think you may still have it. If not, I will email it to you later.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, sir.
That's the way, keep in touch with everybody. That's great.
Yeah. And Chief David, thank you so much for your time today and for sharing the information. I know, Catherine, you put together the slide presentation, and really appreciate that because it makes it real when we can actually see the physical trees. And I know my husband and I were there in, I think, 2014, and the Arboretum was in fairly good repair. You know, I mean, we could go in and walk through it and identify the trees, and it really is, it's an amazing sight to see. And I think with Colin Cotter, you know, taking responsibility, owning the castle, but also the fact that he really is interested in the plantings and everything, that's going to bring a lot of that arboretum back. into good repair. Remember, it hasn't really been tended to in quite a while, so it's fairly overgrown at this point. But I do believe that he's doing a lot of work to get that back in shape. And he's from the local area, which also he has some vested interest in the castle just because he's grown up near that castle, and he's also been very welcoming.
He likes trees, and there's quite an authority on some species of trees, especially the commercial ones. So that's why he's interested in the Arboretum as a garden rather than just as a forest, if you like,
Right.
of species. So I think you'll find that he's very keen to know a lot more, and I will try and give him a lot more to go on as I know it. I mean, I know a little bit more about. We had two very good gardeners, which were old cronies of my grandfather, Hugh, the last Colonel Hugh, and they were retainers basically of his regiment, the Black Watch, and they came to work for him as gardeners, and I remember them very well. Reed and Thompson, their name was, but they were extremely good, hard workers when it came to the garden and the arboretum, and they used to keep the path immaculate, the lawns mown and well tended, and they used to tidy up these trees and the branches and if they fell off, and prune and so on. They were master gardeners, those two, and I had a lot of time for them when I was a wee boy. Sadly, they've long gone now, but they used to live in at the end of the driveways of the west end of the drive of the castle, in one of the cottages at the entrance to the west drive, or the entrance to the castle, as it was then. And they lived in one of these cottages either side of the entrance. They were known as the gardener's cottages. Yeah, I wish I knew more about Reed and Thompson, because they were characters, they were real characters, but they did know their stuff when it came to looking after things, and did it very well. Yeah.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, we've run about 10 minutes over. I hope you all enjoyed this. We'll work on putting together another topic after the new year, and hopefully you can join and encourage others to join us for this, but obviously you have to be a member to have the access to the chat with the chief. And as always, I have to push trying to grow our membership. We have a lot of people that follow us on Facebook. I think Eric is at almost 800 people.
Roughly about 760 right now.
Yeah. And we have about 100 members, and it's important that if you're not a life member, that you renew your membership, because that's how we can keep you involved with these chat with the chief. And you don't have to be a member to go to Scotland and contact Catherine or Genevieve in order to meet up with Chief David. He'll meet you there whether or not you're a member. If you're a member of the Rose Clan, if you're a Rose Clan person, he will meet you there if he's able to work out the schedule.
That's really well. No problem with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me know in plenty of time, and we can arrange something. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And also on the chats with the chief, if there's anything you'd like to hear about, you can let us know as well.
Yeah.
Always happy to.
Yeah, because we are looking for topics that you're interested in. And, when we can, we want to put pictures with that as well. And if you've been to Kilravock and you've got pictures, we'd love to have those posted on our Facebook page. And then we can also put them into our album that's on our Clan Rose International website.
Portfolio pictures, yeah.
Yeah, the more that we have, the better. It kind of creates that pictorial history of what's happening with our clan and with our castle. And we're going to always probably call it our castle, even though it belongs to someone else. He's a friendly purchaser, and it's nice that he welcomes us onto the property. And we can hope at some point he'll welcome us into the castle for at least a tour.
Like
Well,
Bonnie
we're
said,
all a bit
it's like Bonnie.
wealthier.
It's like,
I'm hoping that he's already indicated, you called her, sorry, Colin called her, has already indicated that he would oblige us by allowing us to have a clan gathering.
That'd be great.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be
I
great?
think we should,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's something
And
we should aspire towards.
absolutely.
It's a couple of years away now, but we should think about something how we can do that, and then we can get as many people there across the states and so on, and anywhere
Well,
else from that.
I think our member Paul Rose, he lives in Scotland. His wife is a travel agent. I believe that we could probably talk to her about how we pull something like that together. It would be so much fun, wouldn't it?
I
I
thought.
I don't know if Scotland can handle more roses than they already have.
Well, I talked to Paul's
Tough
wife.
on Scotland. That's tough on Scotland. That's their issue, not ours. So
Yes.
There you go.
Yeah, well, I talk to Paul pretty much on a weekly basis because he keeps me up with a lot of info on that side of the pond, as they like to say. But I'm sure that we can talk to him and his wife and see what type of package they can put together. As far as several of us trying to go get over there and touring the area. 'Cause I mean, literally, she does it for a living, so that would be the person to talk to.
Mhm.
And it's like Bonnie said, even though Kilravock no longer is in the clan, it is still our ancestral home. It will always be our ancestral home, so therefore we will call it home. Nobody else likes it. That's fine. But one thing on the membership, everybody that's paid, I cannot thank y'all enough because y'all do not realize just how much it takes to keep this thing running. Well, from the website to the money we have helped, we have for the Kilravock Heritage Fund, which we are using or hoping to use rather for like the manuscripts that Chief David and Jen and Catherine were instrumental in helping to Nairn Castle or Nairn Museum. I mean, this is not something we're not taking money just to have the money. We are putting it to use, and as much as I hate to say it, we have to have money in order to survive. That's where the paid members come in.
Well,
So
there's things like, yeah, go ahead. I'm sorry, Eric.
Go ahead. No, go ahead, Bonnie.
I was just going to say, there's things like, we do have to file tax returns. So we've got to have, some money for that if we owe any taxes, but still you've got that process of making sure you're meeting all of those IRS laws. So we don't lose a tax exempt status. Zoom meetings they're not cheap. You used to could do them for free if you had a very small group. Now it's pretty expensive. It's a pretty big expense of our budget. And like Eric said, we're not greedy. A lot of us pay for things individually just because we want to make sure that our clan has it. And, so encourage your families to join. We'd love to have more people. And, if you can get out to some of the, the Highland Games, if there's any in your area, you'll thoroughly enjoy them. And where we can, we host tents, and that's also pretty expensive in some cases. It's inexpensive in some areas. It's very expensive if you're in a big city like Atlanta. Grandfather Mountain, I think, is one that's kind of expensive to host because whoever's hosting, if they have to travel, they also have to stay in a hotel or an Airbnb or something. So you're paying for the tent, you're paying for the supplies that go in there, generally some refreshments that go there. So we do have a lot of money that's involved and we spend pretty much all of what we have, plus some that we have to pitch in there as well. So, any help in helping us build the membership would really be appreciated. And I think that our members do get a lot of benefit from what we do. We've started doing the quarterly newsletter, which most of you get by email, and we have these quarterly talks. And I think this one thing in itself puts us so in touch with our clan chief and his family. And it's really a special benefit, I believe. So
one thing, and Bonnie can attest to this, I'm not real sure about in the UK, but as small as Clan Rose is, Clan Rose International has made, upon my expression, a hellacious impact in the last 3 years. We have got people from other games that are emailing me wanting us to be at their games and see how we have been doing things, because word is getting out, whether it's through our own Facebook page, which is probably one of the most active Facebook pages out of any of the clans that I'm aware of, or whether it be that Casca is constantly mentioning us on their news, which for y'all that don't know who Casca is the Council of Scottish Clan and Associations, which is international. But I mean, even with chat with the chief, I've got people coming up to me when we go to the Highland Games, and Bonnie has too, that are taking what we have done in the last 3 years and are implementing it to try to get stuff done with their clan. And I mean, that says a lot for both Chief David and the ladies, as well as, everything that we've accomplished, that we already being a model, so to say, for some of the other clans that want to see how we've been able to pull some of the stuff off no bigger than we are.
mm-hmm.
And there again, we couldn't have done it without Chief and the girls, and they put a lot of work into it on their side along with our side. And I mean, it just says a lot for a little clan that we're being recognized all around, compared to some of the big clans out there that don't do nothing for their people. So there again, thank y'all for that also.
Absolutely. And I'll just say this from the beginning of Clan Rose International, Chief David has been steady, involved. He joins us for our monthly meetings. He, if we have an issue, we call him. He's so involved, and so are Catherine and Genevieve, and we just get a lot of support from them. And again, that's something that a lot of the clans don't get. They know a chief, they have a picture of him, but they don't get to talk to him. We get to talk to our chief. And that's such a blessing.
We've got a good team here.
Constant and true.
Constant and true. That's
Constant
right.
and true.
Well, we have kept Chief David and girls up late at night on more than one occasion. So it may be 5, 6 o'clock for us, but for them it's way past their bedtime. They've always been very, very grateful and all that, and I've been able to, and so has Bonnie. If we need something, we can email them or message them, or find out something we need to know, or if we have an issue that we need to take care of. They've always been very open and very quick to respond and help with the situation at hand. And that makes it easier on our side, as well, when we can do that and not have to, like some clans have, and just have a chief that there's a namesake, and that's the end of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it's definitely made my life and Bonnie's life a lot easier to, have their help.
Well, all of our officers, and let's finish this, Eric. Tell us which countries we're in, that we have membership in.
There you go, Bonnie. Just put me on the spot.
Well, you can think of it.
I'll see if I can do this offhand. We have 13 countries and 5 different continents with active members. We have South Africa, just about every single state in the U.S., with the exception of Hawaii and Alaska that I'm aware of, and maybe a couple more. Canada, Australia, Scotland, Ireland, England, Sweden, Poland, Belgium,
South Africa.
France, South Africa,
Australia.
Yeah. And so, I mean, and of course, our cousins in Bangladesh that nobody knows absolutely nothing about. But that's
A lot of roses went to India,
This is true. Yes,
especially in the
yes,
19th century lot.
so
absolutely.
Most
yeah,
of them didn't come
literally.
back, but
I
some
think
did.
Germany also. Yeah, Germany is another one, and Poland. I don't know if I
Yeah.
mentioned that, but we do have members from, like I said, 13, 14 different countries. And if we got any on Antarctica, more power to them, because I'm not going to go down there and meet them. But
Well, and when Eric says members, we do have members physically in those places. But because of the way that their tax structure is, they don't necessarily pay dues because there's just not a way for them to do a nonprofit to us. And we have a lot of Facebook followers that we'd really love to turn into members because I think so many people can benefit from just having a chat with the chief, you know? And we appreciate you guys, signing up, dialing in, spread the word, we're family. We're all family. Absolutely. And thanks again for joining. Anybody have anything else they want to say or comment before we close?
No, I don't suppose there's any news. Was there going to be a second Lion and Turnbull auction? Do we know? There were rumours, weren't there?
There are rumors.
There
Catherine, I'll
was
let you do.
one back in September, because there was one in June,
Yeah.
which the Men Museum did manage to secure some manuscripts on, and then
Yeah, I
there was
watched
another
that.
one in September.
I had a look at that, Catherine. Was there stuff there?
No,
Sorry to interrupt.
it wasn't. It wasn't, because I will tell you in 1 second. Let me just get something up on my phone. I'll tell you why. It's because a private buyer approached the trust and did a quote to get all the remaining archives directly.
Oh no!
And
Do
the
you
trust
think it's
set a price and the buyer accepted. So sadly, they did not go to auction. I am in talks with the Nen Museum about this because they're the ones who told me about this. And they're going to try and find out who it was and see if we can come to some sort of arrangement and find out where they've gone, who they've gone to, and where they're going to, if they're going to display them.
You don't think it's Falkirk Muir again?
No, I don't.
No.
I believe from, well, I don't know if this is much stock in it because I'm waiting for confirmation, but I believe it's a private buyer from Edinburgh.
Oh.
But I will let you know when I find out because I'm waiting to hear back.
That's irritating. Okay.
Yes.
But
they did find a rent book that popped up in a completely different sale, and they did manage to secure that, so that was quite good. And they have finally been confirmed as well. I don't know if you remember, but I did talk on the last chief talk about them securing an illustrator for the manuscripts that they got. Anyway, that's been confirmed now, and they're going to bring to life some of the manuscripts, mainly the description that they got of the Kilravock Chapel.
Oh, great.
So we're actually going to be meeting with them in the next month. I'm just waiting for them to confirm the date with me. And we're going to be meeting up with them because they want to liaise with us about this, which is quite exciting to
super.
see what that comes up with.
Oh, well,
so that's all the information I have on that at the moment. Yeah.
I know y'all seen on the Facebook page, for some of y'all that may not kind of know what's going on. When we talk about the Kilravock Heritage Fund, this is what we're talking about. We like the books, the ebook we have, all the money goes to that. And Catherine's been keeping up with us on that. And since we could not get the castle, obviously, we're writing what money we do have for the Heritage Fund in case there is something in Scotland that we can get to put in the Nair Museum or something like that and keep it out of private hands and put it back in order, like she was talking about. It was not directly in our hands. It's still in their museum, which is close to the castle and for the public to see. And I know one of the manuscripts that they did manage to get was all the way back in the 1200s. So when y'all see us talking about stuff like that on the Heritage Fund on Facebook, that's what we're talking about, and that's where that money is designed specifically to go to. It's not part of the CRI account; that's separate. but the money we have is just for trying to get artifacts that belong to us back in the rather, near a museum or whatever the case is, and then not to be a butt about it, but try to keep it out of private hands. Well, they don't have no reason to have it. It's our history, not theirs.
Right,
Does that make
exactly.
sense?
Yeah. And from what Eric's saying is, I'll mention Raymond Moorhead. Raymond, I guess it's been about 18 months ago, basically designed and built a sporran that he then donated to us. He found the pin that was our crest, and then he designed a sporran and made that sporran and donated it to us that we auctioned off. Some of you might remember we had a sporran for auction, and Raymond, we took in a lot of donations for that. And the good thing is that we are not for profit, and there's a way for us to transfer not for profit money over to Scotland, and for the for the Nairn Museum, because they are also a not for profit, and no taxes get taken out, and there's no penalty. So pretty much everything that we're able to collect to the Kilravock Heritage Funds goes directly to a purchase, which has been really good. And the fact that we can secure those things, even small things, is it's really amazing. And I know, Catherine, you mentioned in Falkirk that they bought the punch bowl. Well, we may not have the punch bowl, but maybe they would send us a beautiful picture of it.
Yes, we're
This is
trying
where
to
you
do.
can see it. Yeah,
there are pictures. If you go on their website, on their Facebook group, I think he's posted pictures of it. So you just pinch them.
Okay. All right. Well, I hope everybody has a marvelous rest of your weekend. Chief David, thank you. Catherine, thank you. And Genevieve, thank you for being there. Yes, that was her.
Next come up next year.
Okay, well, so we'll go ahead and end, and thanks, guys. Love my cousins.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It's not the way.
Bye-bye.
You all take care now. God bless.
God bless.
God bless.
God bless, Steve.
You too.